So today wasn't the start of the week that I thought I was going to get. I felt okay. I woke up, managed a few hours sleep, which was nice. I'm sorry if the camera moves. I am in a rocking chair and there is a tiny dog who keeps giving me his toys. At the moment it's a mouse. It's a cat toy. Hang on. Ooh, no fast turns. But so I got up and I had a shower. I realised just as I was getting into the shower that things might not be as planned because stepping over the bath into the shower was a bit difficult. And then afterwards, I had a whole lot of vertigo going on. Which thankfully as the day progressed, leveled down to dizziness, but I'm an early education teacher, so work at a daycare with the kindergarten group, and so that kind of head and body reaction is not something that I can work through when working with little people, with those tiny humans. So as you can see, my face is quite inflamed. It's just a symptom of things not being happy. What my family likes to call my warning light. The scar from 2 of my BCCs is a little inflamed too. That's another sign that things aren't 100% inside my brain and nervous system. My eyes feel like they're a little swollen. You can see that they're not quite reacting in the same way as each other. It's just one of those things that changes over time. So I've had to take my first day off for the year in the last week of term 2 here in Australia. So as disappointed as I am that I've had to take a day off because of everything being too much, after I had a restful weekend and was feeling good, the fact that it's taken until this point in time to need to do that, to when I've woken up, towards the end of the day sometimes it gets like that and I'm like, yeah, this is a bit much. But the fact that it got there, this is the first time that it reached that point at the start of a day, first time in 6 months, definitely means that a change in work environment and time for action, so changing from working at the local P10 school down to working with kindergarten group at our early education centre, and dropping from full-time, so 5 days a week, to 4 days a week with the option of some extra hours if I need them or want them, has just made a hell of a difference. And for someone with a laundry list of chronic conditions and autoimmune diseases, that's pretty cool. So I think that this morning was mostly caused by my trigeminal neuralgia, which I am due for my next round of Botox treatment for that using the migraine protocol in just over a week. So I did get a script from my GP to get a Jovi, which is one of the CGRP's injections. So unfortunately, you can only get one, either Botox or the injection on the PBS scheme, which is the pharmaceutical benefit scheme here in Australia. So one of them is discounted to a non-eye water wearing amount, and for me that's the Botox with my neurologist, because the Jovi wasn't being as effective on its own. However, they do work really well together. It's just almost impossible to pay for them regularly. My private health insurance, Defence Health, runs out partway through the year, so it's a financial year. So I will purchase one of the Ajovia scripts. Hopefully today he'll have some in stock, my chemist. There's someone else in town who uses the same medication, so hopefully they'll have one available. Otherwise they'll order it in and I'll get it in the next couple of days and take it. And hopefully that'll make a difference so that I can get through till the end of it. Unfortunately, without the PBS discount, it's about $500 or just over. However, I can claim back $500 of private scripts using my private health insurance. Sorry, brain fog's a bit off the charts at the moment, so I'll do that, and then I'll make sure I do the same thing next financial year, and then I've got them there if needed. Oh, when needed. Goodness me. I'm just hoping that the yawning is just because my body's catching up and not a sign of pain levels increasing. But yeah, so not the start to the day that I thought I was going to have, but also not the worst day. Because yeah, things have got a little bit better, and because I was realistic enough to make the decision that it wasn't time to push through. I needed to actually make that call and go, hey, today's not a day I can do. It's made it possible that I'll get through the rest of the week. Fingers are firmly crossed. But in the meantime, I'm testing out my new rocking chair. It's huge in the catio, and I'm spending some time out here with my two lovely land whales, Trixie Belden and Nancy Drew. Ridiculous tiny dog Corduroy was here too, but I think that he might have gone inside. But yeah, sometimes you just have to be realistic, whether you want to be or not, and just accept that this is part of all the chronic illnesses, the chronic pain conditions, the autoimmune diseases. Unfortunately, it's just the way it goes. So fingers crossed that tomorrow will be a better day.